Hello, welcome to Short Shot Archery. The question is, should I set up my Barebow to my Olympic recurve weight? So I asked the people of the Barebow group, and I got some really great answers back on what I should do, and I'm going to go through some of them and just talk about what they had to say and how I'm going to apply that to me working on Barebow and Olympic recurve at the same time. So first off, you probably want to know, what is the Barebow group? It's a group on Facebook. I joined it. There's also other great groups on Facebook, and there's even like the Barebow Project. There is tons of helpful people out there willing to answer your questions, as long as you're willing to ask the questions. It's a great community, the Barebow community as a whole, not even just this particular group. And I highly recommend reaching out to other people in the community for answers to your questions. I'm just doing my side of it, trying to promote what's going on here in Barebow and applying what I know with Olympic recurve, because I think the two have a lot to share in their own respects. So, my original question in this group was, I'm looking to do some more serious barebow shooting. I currently shoot Olympic recurve, and I shoot with 45.5 to 46 pounds at my fingers at full draw. So, should I set up my barebow to that weight? I'm looking for suggestions, and that's what I put in this group, and I got a ton of comments back, 21 comments in total, with a ton of replies. And here are some of the really... So I'm going to go over some of the really big ones that really stood out to me. Of course, everybody's responses were fantastic, and I really appreciate it. But I handpicked a few out that I really think are helpful for not only me, but for other people that are thinking about shooting barebow, that have always shot Olympic recurve, at least for the majority of their shooting career. So, commenter number one, and I quote, "You can try it. Only concern is, the higher you pull, the higher your arrows will go. Bows shoot better generally with the less string walking you do." They then talked about the weight they shoot. They shoot about 34 pounds for indoors and about 40 pounds for 50 meters outdoors. They go on to say that some barebow shooters do shoot 45 plus, but a majority of them don't. And that basically go from there. I should give it a try, and then if I have any more questions, well, just post and ask, and they'd be happy to help me. So with this, I think this is really good information, not only for me, but for somebody that's looking to get into this. You don't have to just transfer right over to your heavy weight that you're used to for your Olympic recurve. If you're shooting 45 pounds Olympic recurve, you can get away with doing a 35 pound or so draw weight, and you could be in great shape. It looks like people do this very consistently, and it's, in a way, it's actually expected. As I went through more of these comments, it seems like even people that were in the barebow community for a long time, that started shooting Olympic recurve for a brief period of time, they all said it was easier to draw back the bow with the clicker on the Olympic recurve and all the other things, the stabilizer and everything, all that attached to it. It was easier to have more weight and a longer draw length and things like that. So their recommendation was also to go for that lighter weight. Now, another commenter did say that it really does come down to what you're comfortable. So that made me wonder, well, why is it that you drop weight when you move from Olympic recurve to barebow? Is it really just the clicker and the stabilizer and stuff like that? Well, one of the commenters had a really great point, is that a lot of Olympic recurve shooters aren't really great with their back. They're really using their clicker to help them get through the shot. They're shooting with the clicker more than they're actually shooting with their back. They're not expanding with their their back and their back. They're not getting good back tension to expand and shoot that shot. They're kind of just using the clicker to get there because the arrow is there, and they're not going to shoot until it clicks. So, it works for Olympic recurve to a degree, but it doesn't work for barebow in that manner, and you just won't be able to shoot it if you don't already have proper back tension and setup in your Olympic recurve. So not to say that that is everybody's case, and that's the reason why everybody that shoots barebow shoots less weight, but that was the recommendation from people that commented, and it really does make sense, and I really appreciate that because I know in the past, not so much currently, but in the past, I really did struggle with the clicker really dictating the shot and having very poor back tension. And I've really worked hard on that, and I can pretty confidently say that I have some pretty good back tension now, and I feel very confident in being able to shoot barebow at the same draw weight as I do Olympic recurve. Of course, we're gonna have to give that a try and probably make a video doing it, just to see what happens, because that's what I really want to do. I want to be able to shoot the same length arrows, same draw length, same everything, and just see how that goes. But but these comments about this are excellent. So you shouldn't be shy to go drop a few pounds on your draw weight if you switch from Olympic recurve to barebow, because, well, you got to work around not having a clicker and getting used to that and finding finding out where your shot is stable and getting that proper back tension and working on it so that you can make good shots if you're shooting barebow or if you're shooting Olympic recurve. Either way. Another commenter also added that, with all that weight, it is changing your anchor point. Now, of course, I know I did say that previously, but that also seemed like a big topic. That you you only want so much weight to a degree, because you will have to do a lot of string walking because the arrow is just going too fast, and you're getting just too much height out of it. And I think overall these points are excellent. So in summary, basically, if you're switching from Olympic recurve to barebow, you probably want to drop your weight because you will likely not have the proper back tension to actually hold your arrow and have your draw in the same spot as you normally do with Olympic recurve. And with that, if you're going for a more traditional, like barebow style anchoring point, where you're going to be further up on your face and not under your chin, your shoulder and your arm and stuff are already going to be naturally higher, and that's going to take out some of your back tension that you can apply to the shot, to shooting the shot. Because if you're down lower, it's much easier to expand with your back. If you're up higher, it's definitely a little bit harder, and I've experienced that myself with shooting Olympic recurve, so I can imagine it would be the same thing with barebow. So hopefully you found this video helpful. I try to do my best to go through some of these really standout comments. Everybody was great, of course, and I really appreciate it, but this should give you a pretty good idea on things you should consider when switching to barebow from Olympic recurve. Of course, if you have more questions, I would highly recommend posting in one of these barebow groups or finding other people that make barebow related content and just ask them about it. From my experience so far, the community is very welcoming and open. They are happy to answer your question as long as you're willing to actually ask the question in the first place. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and as always, happy shooting.